Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Acura TLX Type S. I think this is a super underrated performance sedan. We'll talk about it in today's video. Before we get into this video, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 354 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the front end, first off, I really like this color. This gray looks really good on the Type S. And then popping down below, pretty cool with the turn signal indicators there. Notice all the trim's been blacked out, really aggressive looking grille overall. Got the Type S badge too. And then look at the ground effects there at the bottom. So yeah, the contrast on this is cool, but it also just, it looks aggressive. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255 by 35 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And the coloration on these wheels looks really sharp. We do have Brembo brakes with this as well, so it's kind of like another nice feature. But yeah, look at the contrast with the bronze and the gray. Got the Type S badge there on the side. And then notice the mirror caps, window trim, all of that's blacked out. Look at that side profile. And this leads us to the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start opening for the trunk, Type S there on the back, and we'll pop it open. Now popping into the rear, you guys can see you've got the pull tabs there for the seats to throw them down if you want more storage space. But overall, not massive, but you know, it's more than practical enough, I think, for a lot of people. When you're all done, just plop. Love the spoiler here in the back, that's really cool. And then look at those taillights. I think it would be nice if they blacked out the badges here on the back, but not the worst. Type S there on the other side, and look at all the exhaust tips. It's aggressive. There's the rest of the rear. Now take a look at the door panel on the back. It's actually soft touch here at the top, and then you got this nice trim down below with the red stitching, kind of contrast that element there too. And then I like the Type S seats, really cool with all the red and the black inserts. And then blop. Legroom back here, pretty good. Got a little storage pocket. We got vents here in the rear, USB ports as well. Headroom's a little bit tight, but it's not bad. Now take a look at the front door panel. You can see, again, with the soft touch and then all of the trim down below. We've got the window controls here, mirror adjustments, mirrors do power fold in, memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then here are the seats. Nice trim all down the center. We've got all of our adjustments on the side, Type S there as well. Things hit the pedals. And then notice we've got for the stability control, your parking sensor, some safety tech heads-up display adjustment as well. And then the dash has some more nice trim. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You can see perforated on either side, Type S there at the bottom. We've got paddle shifters here in the back for the 10-speed. A bunch of practical controls in the front, including volume controls, adaptive cruise control, lane centering, and then you've got your traditional stocks there on the back. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, which I think actually looks pretty cool. One of my favorite elements with this is with the drive mode change. And then if we go to Sport Plus, it gets even more aggressive. I think that's kind of a fun element of the gauge cluster. So we've got this nice 360 camera system in reverse, trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel, and good resolution overall, so I think they did a good job with that. And then as for the infotainment system, it's not touchscreen, it's Acura's, yeah, keypad setup. Not too difficult to use though. Again, you got all that nice trim across the dash, very premium looking if you ask me. And then, yeah, pretty solid the glove box. I like the handle there on the outside. Dual zone climate controls, heated and ventilated seats with this as well. You get your drive mode select there, and your auto stop start with your brake hold, and then your transmission select here in the center as well. But yeah, this whole control stack's pretty cool. That's the control for the infotainment system. Of course, behind it you got your wrist rest, that's what I call it. Wireless phone charging pad with some cup holders, and then pretty normal center console setup. Nice red trim here on the top, and then pretty fancy looking mirror. And then we've got a sunroof up top as well. So here's our window sticker, and I guess this one is the Type S exclusive styling package, is what it's called. But anyways, total MSRP $58,795. Remember that. Remember that. Let's drive it. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Over the hood, heads-up display, both the mirrors. Also, it says Type S on the headrest. Didn't notice that. Anyways, set off. Oh, setting off in the Type S, and this is a car that I've been living with for the week. And like I said, I think this is a really underrated car. It's a really cool car, and I'll kind of explain that over the course of the driving. First things first, you know, from a daily driver perspective, it's really good. You know, like most sporty cars like this, you do have some road noise. It's not bad, but it exists. So you do have that happening. But like I said, it's not bad at all. And then ride quality is good. Again, for a sportier car, it's smooth, it's comfortable. So great daily driver car. You know, just like cars from Audi, BMW, Mercedes that are in this segment, it's a car that has a fun performance side, but it's also a car that you can just drive all the time and, you know, no problem, super easy. So that's all great. And then when it comes to, you know, the performance driving, I'll get an acceleration up here a little bit later, a good one. It's really good. So it's not quite as razor sharp as, like, you know, a BMW M340i. Like, this still handles really well, but it's a bit pudgy, right? It's had a little bit too much to eat, I guess. And so, yeah, you do feel the weight a little bit, but it's not bad. Overall, it handles really well. And, you know, in isolation, when you just look at this by itself, it's a car that drives really well and it handles really well. And it's quick, too. And the thing I like about this engine is it's super smooth. Not only, you know, the transmission setup in here, but just like how it delivers power and all of that, it's really good. It's a really nice powertrain. And then, you know, with all of that, you have Acura's reliability reputation. Now, you know, most automakers post-pandemic have had their reputation tarnished a little bit, but, you know, Honda and Acura seem to still be doing pretty darn strong. And so, I don't know, if anyone's going to make a reliable turbo V6, it's probably going to be Acura, right? Hopefully they don't have the same problems that Toyota's had with theirs. I don't think so, though. I think Acura spends a little bit more time on stuff. But yeah, it's just a nice powertrain. And you can see here, like, we're obviously not going crazy fast, but it's just hovering at low RPMs. I just barely have to get into it to stay up to speed. It's a nice powertrain. This is what I'm talking about, the handling. I can kind of feel the weight, but it's sharp. Like, no body roll. It's great. And, ooh, wrong way. Pop it into Sport Plus mode. There we go. Now this will be the most aggressive setting. And I love the transmission, just super snappy. Super, super snappy. And it sounds pretty good. Again, it's just a V6, but I think it's a pleasant sounding V6, if you ask me. It's got like a nice deep tone to it. And the all-wheel drive system's great, but I mean, look at this. Notice how it just clicks off the gear shifts. Like, I got no one behind me, so we can slow down a little bit. And look at that downshift. So good. It is so good. I love the sound of it. And it just keeps going all the way up to redline. I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really cool. So overall, the TLX Type S, super underrated. And when you look at pricing on this, a BMW M340i with all the fancy sport options is over $70,000. So BMW fanboys can shut up, because this is $58,000. You can't tell me that at minimum the BMW is $12,000, $14,000. It depends on how you expect the 3 Series. $14,000 more car, because it's not. It's just not. Like, yeah, there are things like the transmission with the BMW is just a little bit snappier, and the B58's a really cool engine. but it's so much more expensive. And so when you look at the pricing of the TLX Type S, you don't just look at the weight, you don't just look at the horsepower, you actually look at how much this costs and what it offers. I think that makes it the one to get in the segment. Let me know your thoughts.